Hi, I'm Monica, and for my interactive assignment, I'm going to discuss the unit that I found most interesting, which was that of language. Especially whenever children are first born and they're developing that sense, they can't even, their bodies are still basically jelly, and by 4 months, they're able to distinguish sounds. And by 7 months, they're able to distinguish sounds so well that even adults can't distinguish them. That's amazing. But I think that's fascinating that in order to truly fluently learn a language, or more than one language, you would have to be taught it from infant age. And there's this book that I read. It's pretty well known. It's called The Code Talkers. It's based in World War II, where they kept coming out with codes, and that kept getting hacked and interfered with by Germany and other countries that have we were in war with at the time. But what some officers discovered was that there was a tribe, a Navajo Indian tribe, that was obviously native to America, so no other country has access to that information in that language. And it was very small village. Their dialect was unique to them, and their language has sounds and certain little quirks that, if you're not a native born speaker of the Navajo or I believe it was the Navajo, I'm not sure, but if you weren't a native born speaker of that language, you were not going to be able to decipher it. The Americans learned some basic words by reading and learning, and the Indians that they hired on helped out, or the Native Americans at the time helped translate, and they ended up creating an uncrackable code that helped us win the war in World War II. And I thought that book was amazing. Highly recommend it. A little off topic, but that's okay. But this unit's also pretty interesting to me personally, because I, being Mexican, all half Mexican, but Mexican, grew up in a English-speaking household. I never learned Spanish. I mean, I still can't. I learned in school, like usually most people do. We had Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, but doesn't mean you learn the language. I learned more from just being around some of my friends, and I still don't know the language. And there's no way. Unfortunately, I learned that I missed my opportunity to speak it perfectly fluently, but that's okay. But that's what I found the most interesting. And yeah, thanks.